Hey everyone, welcome back to the Forges of the Alliance. Today we're going to build the walkway kit, which is part of the small Sprilo kit. So it's a walkway that connects the Sprilos, so you can actually have models walking across. And it's elevated, which is of course super nice. It fits the railing of the Sprilo kits perfectly, which is the reason we have this nice circular cutout here. But it also actually interlocks with the factory kit as well. It can even connect into the railing of those kits as well. So let's get to it. So the first thing we're going to do is, it's two-stage assembly. So first we're going to glue these two parts together. This is basically the body of the walkway. Once that's set and done, we can then finish the final assembly. Helpful if you have a rubber band, because that will really greatly increase the ease of which you can finish the final step of this assembly. So if you don't have one, get one now. And first off, we're going to glue this. So make sure to get these two pieces first. As you can see, the center portion is quite a bit longer. As you can see, it sticks out on both ends. So you don't need to put glue all the way up to the end. Just make sure to cover the center bit of this piece. Put some decent amount of glue on there, but don't overdo it as always. It's always a shame if you put too much glue and you have to take it all off again. And there's wood glue everywhere, like it is in this workshop. There's glue and spaces you won't even believe. So don't overglue, okay? So put it on and try and align it as best as you can while you're working with it now. What you'll notice is that while you're doing this, it's quite hard to align it perfectly. So there's a little trick to that. So first we're going to remove the excess glue a little bit to make sure that we don't have too much on there, because that's just going to get annoying in a bit. Once you've done that, you take one of the railings, put it face down on the table. You connect the bottom, the cutouts and the pegs, and you flip it. Now you can actually use the railing as an alignment tool. You want to make sure the inside corners of the railings align perfectly with the floor of the walkway. Once you've done that, just give it some decent pressure to make sure it's in very good, it stays in place okay. After you've done that, you can just take it off, set it to dry. You can remove any excess glue at this stage and just leave it for a couple of minutes. After that, we're going to come back and we're going to finish up the final assembly. Okay everyone, we left it to dry for a short bit, so we're going to finish the final assembly. For this, take a rubber band. It helps if it's brand new, make sure to stretch it out once. So you take all the super heavy strain out of it, otherwise you might snap the legs when you're doing the final steps. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a bead of glue on the inside of these two parts. Then we're going to add the railings to it. And once both railings are in place, we're going to glue the steps into place. And then we're going to tie it all together with a rubber band, so for it to set and to dry. And then afterwards we're going to paint it and show you the final product. So first off, take your glue. Make sure to run a nice bead of glue all the way down. It helps if you just run it both ways, so you spread it out evenly. You don't have too much, too little glue. Just line up your railing again using the pegs and the cutouts. Flip it 90 degrees and then apply light pressure on the inside of the railing. So it helps if you put pressure here, so on the inside, so not on the top. If you press too hard, you're going to break it. You'll see there's going to be some excess glue dripping off, which is okay. Just make sure to clean it while you still can. It's still wet. It's quite easy to just take your finger and make sure that it's gone. Doing it now and not at the end will save you a lot of time. As with most kits where you have to align certain components, it always helps to use your work table to apply pressure. So you make sure that your geometry doesn't misalign all of a sudden. Make sure that it's in place. You're happy with how it's sitting. And once you've done that, we're going to do the opposite side, of course. So same process, just apply a bead of glue. So align the pieces again, angling it 90 degrees, applying a little bit of pressure, first compressing it, and then using pressure down the inside of the walkway again, so you don't put any pressure on pieces that just aren't meant to take that. So after you're happy with that, make sure to check the bottom that there's no large amounts of glue that you don't want to have laying there. Check the inside. And now we're gonna have a short technical break. We'll be right back. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. So after fixing your backdrop, we're gonna fix the kit. So the last step we're gonna do is glue in the steps. It's important to put a nice bead of glue in the corners, which we're gonna use to connect everything. So put a decent drop of glue in there. It's okay if it's a bit more than you normally use to, because it's quite easy to clean this off afterwards. There's some indentations in there. Just make sure that you align your step. So make sure to flip it. That's the first thing I did. I put the nice, beautiful face of the step up. But yeah, it's upside down, so make sure to flip this as well. After you've done this, so make sure to align it. You'll notice that sometimes the railings are a bit further out or further in, so they're not completely at a 90-degree angle. This is how you fix that. So after you've done that, make sure to apply some light pressure people, on the inside, and use the same process. Just put your fingers behind it and then just press inwards. You'll notice that once you're doing this, it might just pop open again, but that's okay. That's why we're using the rubber band once we do the other one. So fix the other one in place as well. Just make sure there's enough glue and that you flipped it so the bottom is upside. Apply some light pressure again and remove any excess glue that spills out at this stage. The rest of the glue you can just leave. If there's some glue up on the upside, make sure that on the top side, sorry, not the upside. There's always an upside to things, but yeah. Make sure to clean it off now while it's still easy to get to, because the rubber band's going to be here at a later stage. So check the other side as well. Actually looks okay. So what we do now is we're going to add the rubber band. Make sure to add it, and then you line it up with this side first, so not straight under the steps. Why do we do this like this? Because if you put it up here and you pull it out, you might break the legs, so be careful of that. Once it's in place, just roll it up so it's almost up to the height of the step. You'll notice once you're doing this is that you're putting pressure on the railings to compress. So they're coming in closer to each other, which helps actually set the tray in place and helps to straighten out everything. So once you've done that, and if you notice that there's, we saw before there was quite open, just give a little bit of pressure to the walkways, to the railings outside, to make sure that it's easier to do this. And then add last bit of pressure to these bits to make sure that the alignment is okay. Make sure that you're happy with how it's sitting. And there's a little bit of room to wiggle this, so make sure it's in the same line as your walkway. That's both horizontal, for example. Okay, so after this is done, just leave it to dry. Really give this piece a good amount of drying time. I'd advise at least an hour because of the nature of the component. Or if you have the time, leave it drying for at least a day. So this is how it's gonna look before you paint it. So we're gonna paint this for you guys and we're gonna come back with the finished product. Welcome back everyone. So I've painted it. As you can see, I just primed it black and then used some metallic colors to give it a nice zenithal look. So why do we use these walkways? Why are they included in the small Sprilo kit? Well, this is why. As you all know, we wargamers, we like to build bridges. So build yourself a bridge. So you can actually use these to connect Sprilo kits together. They fit perfectly on the railing of the kit because of the shape I showed you earlier. It's quite a solid fit, so you can put models on this and it won't fall over. It's quite sturdy and it really gives you that nice industrial walkway feel. Also perfect for games of like for example Necromunda or Infinity, where you really want to move your models around and have nice firing positions and angles. So presenting to you the small Sprilo kit, the glorious walkway. Thanks for watching and I hope to see you all soon.